Welcome to the St. Louis Park Rec Center for 12 Sports Girls Hockey Opener for the 2016-2017 season as Highway 100 rivals, the Breck Mustangs and the Benilde-St. Margaret's Red Knights do battle. Hi, I'm Jay Wilcox along with Dan Ficken. And Dan, first game tonight for Benilde. Breck got their feet wet a little bit with a 5-4 win against a pretty good Centennial team the other night. This has always been a pretty good matchup. Last year, Breck got the better of it. Benilde trying to turn the tables and bounce back from a little bit of a tough year for them last year.
Well, it's always a treat to talk with two storied powers as your first game, and both teams have had great success over the years. Now, not so much last year for Benilde-St. Margaret's. Kind of a rough year, 16 losses in the regular season, so it's a product of their schedule, but some of the players didn't step up the way Coach Herbst thought they would. This year, they've got more experience. They've got basically 12 juniors and seniors, but got a new goaltender. A little bit difference in the goal scoring too. Didn't score a lot last year. They got to find the goal scoring this year. And if their goaltending holds up, he seems to think they got the speed and the size this year to have a way better record.
Meanwhile, for Breck, last year 23 wins. They lost a heartbreaker to Blake in their section championship game. They've got a very young team, but I think still safe to say that they expect to contend for a state tournament berth.
Okay, here we go again. Reload. They don't rebuild. And very young. They got 10 9th and 10th graders on the team, but they'll skate. They all can skate. They all can play. But, of course, we'll get the treat in watching one of the premier girls skaters in the state tonight. But had a good win against Centennial, who's considered a potential winner in the Northwest Suburban Conference, a very good hockey team, and Breck went up to their house and beat them, so be interesting to see what they look like tonight.
We're going to talk about key players in tonight's game, as Dan mentioned. They happen to both be named Grace. Grace Zumwinkle of Breck is a University of Minnesota recruit. Got to be one of the best players in Minnesota, Class A or AA.
Dominant. I asked Coach Herb what's he's going to do to stop her, and he says, I don't know. We'll see, Scored all 5 of their goals against Centennial, and if you don't notice her, you're not paying attention because she's all over this, and she lies. Big and strong, got great hands, and a real sniper. Just going to be fun to watch her tonight.
And for Benilde, we're going to talk about one of their captains who is going to be back on the blue line, at least to start this year, Grace Peluso.
Kind of a surprise, the leading scorer coming back, playing forward last year. Coach Herbst moved her back to D. Now what that means is she got the green light to go whenever she wants. She's got good size, good hands, and she can skate. I think it's a good move because it really spreads it out all over the ice a little bit better for him, but it makes him stronger on defense because she's a smart hockey player. She'll solidify that defensive core and make them stronger from the pipes out. So we'll see if they're better defensively.
Just one of many early season tests for both of these teams. It's Breck and Benilde girls hockey coming up next here on 12 Sports.
Connected community experience. It's at the core of what we do, and it's what we deliver. Keep watching for a new way to think about and experience Channel 12 and Northwest Community Television.
I adopted Bento in 2010 from a shelter. As it turns out, we have very similar personalities. And this cat makes me make art because he's always motivating me to take pictures of him, to draw pictures of him. He just is motivating artistically. It's just that simple. Well, he's my best friend, but a lot of people know him as Keyboard Cat.
Welcome back here to the St. Louis Park Rec Center as we get set to drop the puck tonight between the Mustangs and the Red Knights. And Dan, Benilde, after this one, you don't jump into the season with a tough enough week here. You get Breck, then St. Paul United, then Wayzata. So Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. But that's the way to find out what you've got. And I think that's typical of what these teams have been trying to schedule the last couple of years.
Oh, they both run good schedules and stuff. They're storied programs. Everybody wants to play them, I put them on the schedule, and They also have an inter-squad scrimmage coming up prior to the Wayzata game where some final roster changes are going to be made. They're not quite settled on who they want playing, and but this will be a real test for them tonight. Now, they have had a couple good scrimmages against Maple Grove and Hill Murray, so they have been playing. So this is their first official game, but Dave Herbst seems to think this is actually their third game. They've seen a lot, and they've done a lot. So we'll see how they come out against the Mustangs, who performed pretty admirably against Centennial. So,
a couple of sophomores in goal tonight. Allie Franczyk for the Breck Mustangs. You see she got the start, new to their program, but got the win over Centennial the other night. And then at the other end of the rink for Benilde, Paige Greeley, who played a little bit last season as the second goalie on the varsity level for the Red Knights. We get set to begin tonight's contest. Kendall Williamson facing it off here, and the Red Knights end up with it as Mandy Nylander throws it into the Breck zone where it's gathered by Ella Brophy. Pass tipped ahead, a 2-on-2 rush here for Breck. Nice poke check though. Frees that one up as Peluso stops that rush.
nicely played by Peluso too, Jay. She stood up right by that blue line and wouldn't let him have it. Great poke check.
A little interesting. Breck did not start the game with Grace Sumwinkle out on the ice. Pass intercepted, and here comes Grace Sumwinkle with it right now. Number 4 for Breck. Carries it in, tees it up, and a rocket, and fighting it off there was Greeley. And back the other way come the Red Knights until that poke check by Catherine Solohub freed it back up. Megan Cornell back to get it, but taken away by Breck's Gabby Billing there. Centering pass, and the quick shot popping high and wide as a opportunity for the Mustangs. Olivia Mobley relaying it back down deep. Sedona Brown getting to it for the Red Knights, but they can't clear. Pass floated to the front, but jabbed away. Breck cycling it here. Ooh, and a hard fall there. But getting right back up was Mobley. Comes free in the slot, and the shot just wide from Billing there.
Well, Mustangs are not afraid to fire the puck. They're even taking bad angle shots. They're just really letting it rip, and they're buzzing right now.
Centering pass intercepted. Red Knights wanted to clear. In fact, they would have been even okay with an icing there, but couldn't get it past neutral there. Dump back in. Cornell there to get it for Benilde. Cannot clear the zone though. Comes fluttering to the front. Another interception here. A deflected shot goes to the corner. And finally Benilde able to get it on out. It'll be an icing call against the Red Knights as they get a chance to regroup here. As they look at Rhonda Engelhardt, and now in her 4th season as Breck head coach, and a lot of, as you said, young players, but some young talent with the Breck program.
Yeah, she was pretty happy with what she'd seen and you know what she told us, and right now it's showing itself. They've got a nasty little forecheck here, and it's working to a T for the Mustangs.
Here again, a turnover at the blue line. Shot knocked down in front. Gabby Hewson with the block there for Benilde as they try and get it going back the other way. Sally Callengore dumping it in. Pass behind the net is taken away though, and here come the Mustangs trying to get a rush going. They're 2-on-3 at the moment though, so they need to get a change, and will dump it on in. Stopped there by Greeley. And that pass didn't connect, so icing against Benilde.
Benilde, their defense when they're under pressure, they've got to take control of that puck and create some openings and force people in. See Dave Herbst here, 11th year. He's been with this program a long doggone time. He's gotten a lot whiter since the first year we saw him. Nice stash, Coach.
Off the draw, pops back out to center. Solo hub first to it here for Breck. Mustangs getting it going now up to Zumwinkle left side. Grace Zumwinkle. Lost it there. Now she picks it right back up. Abigail Riskovich couldn't control it now. They swing it across. Solo hub carrying it in here for Breck. Centering pass was denied there, taken by Sammy Dieterding. Again, they're unable to clear. Now the Red Knights get it to center and dump it on in. Nicole Oppenheimer back to pick it up here for Breck. That long pass does not connect. Greeley is going to have to stop it for Peluso. Get bunched up along the wall here. And it comes out of the zone. Breck will have to touch up here as it's flicked right back in. Again, that forecheck really smothering Benilde as they look for somewhere to go with the puck.
Well, Benilde's got to support each other. They got to start stacking two people up on the boards to match the Breck Mustangs. When they've won, they've outnumbered the Mustangs. And good play right there. They're starting to do that. Now we got a good rush by the by the Red Knights here.
Good opportunity back the other way. Maria DeCesar controlling. Now leaves it back. She heads off on a change. They are able to maintain possession till that second D comes out. Mustangs able to free the puck up. Can't get it out though, for the moment at least. Benilde looking to be a physical team this year. Take the body a little bit, obviously within, legal not checking. And then behind the net it comes a puck comes out to Greeley as we'll get a whistle to stop play with 11:44 to go in the first. No score on the board. Breck pretty much controlling things, although it hasn't really translated into chances for them yet.
No, they're starting to get the shots on goal limited by the Red Knights here. And yeah, I think you're right. Physicality. You can be physical in girls hockey without throwing full body checks. You can get in the way. You can slow people down. And if you're big enough and strong enough, it works effectively for you.
Here's a long shot and it's a goal. Sedona Brown taking the shot. Not sure if it hit a Breck stick on the way, but it should be her goal. And the Red Knights go on the board first. First goal of the season for Benilde.
I think it deflects off of the Breck.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Came out the stick and got it. Just caught the inside of the corner just right. But, yep, that's a really good thing for the Red Knights. They have a defense score in Sedona Brown. Good shot. She got it going in on net and deflected off in front. And, we don't care how it goes in. All that matters is it goes in. Coach Hoof's got to be happy with that because they had trouble scoring goals last year.
Kenzie Malone will get the assist on Brown's goal. It did go off a Breck defender, but up and over the shoulder of Francic. So Benilde capitalizes on its first shot of the game. First shot of the season goes in the net. And so the Red Knights take that 1-0 lead. Here's Gabby Hewson wheeling away here for Benilde. Carries it into the Breck zone. She's all alone, but puts a good low hard shot on it. Francic knocks aside. Battle for it out, and it comes back out to center where the Red Knights pick it up. They seem like they've got a little more jump now after getting that good rush and goal.
Why do we always notice that after a team scores a goal? They get a little more jump.
Sometimes it makes the other team a little bit mad too. Here comes Grace Zumwinkle with it behind the net. They're changing up behind her as she waits for help. Ooh, and then goes down hard. That pass knocked away. And Benilde coming back hard up the right side with it. Battle for it in the corner, and now Red Knights come up with it again. Centering pass though was denied. Gets all the way through to the point. That shot's blocked. Chopped away in front as Benilde nearly had a chance. Now here's Zumwinkle, partial break as she catches that pass off the boards. Grace Zumwinkle with the backhand. Ooh, and a nice stop by Greeley with the glove.
Greeley made a good save. She was partially screened there. Got up on a quick 2-on-1 coming back. Oh.
Good shot block there. Second try goes off the side of the net. Good job by Oppenheimer holding her ground there. So you get another look at the Zumwinkle opportunity here. Boy, she got a lot on that backhand, really.
She can shoot, boy. There's never been a problem with that. She usually finds holes, puts it in between the legs, partially screening Greeley, but Greeley got a glove and enough to deflect it, and the Red Knights had a 2-on-1 on the way back, and just, boy, a big mistake made by the lead player, especially shooting it right in the shin pads of the D.
Mustangs coming back with Mobley. Puck overskated. Mobley will pick it back up at center ice and off to Emily Zumwinkle, number 22. Benilde able to free it up. Red Knights leading it 1-0. Getting a goal on their first shot of the year, and an opportunity straight up the middle. Coming hard with the puck there was Grace Chuckness for Benilde. Here's another look at this opportunity as it's carried there by Kate Henshaw there.
And she had a trailer coming behind her, and she could have just dropped past it back, kind of deflected the D instead of shooting into the shin pads, giving the person behind her a better shot by occupying that D.
Nice save by Franczyk on the turnaround try by Nylander there. A penalty is coming up, and we will get it whistled down right here. An interference call against Benilde. Looks like they're going to take Sammy Dieterding off for interference.
Here's a big question mark for the Red Knights, too. Last year, their penalty kill was not good. It was only 68%. You went it up by 80%. Gave up a lot of power play goals last year. So we'll see if they're better. Now, I talked to Coach Terps. He hasn't really settled on a penalty kill right now. He's just taking the top 2 players off of each line and playing that with his standard 4-player defense rotation.
Long shot from the point there by Gabby Billing. Now she gets the puck back here for Breck. A play catch there, and then that shot is right onto the stick of the penalty killer Nylander. Probably very early in the year, you see things tend to be a little more basic in terms of setup on, power play penalty kill. It's probably something you've worked on a little bit, but maybe not to a great degree. Here's Zumwinkle shooting the rebound, and a nice stop. As Greeley able to get the pads closed just in time after that puck deflected out front. Here's Zumwinkle teeing it up, and a rising shot into the midsection there and held on to by Greeley. Here's a look at that previous chance. The first shot is deflected, but watch it come right out front for the rebound. And Greeley just getting set up in time to stop that second attempt from Emily Zumwinkle.
Yeah, Greeley stepped up to the plate so far. She had good numbers last year in 3 games. She had a .926 save percentage, which is very, very good.
Ooh, looking for the deflection out front there, and Greeley has to make another big save. Breck trying to capitalize on this power play. They trail at 1-0, but getting a couple of pretty good opportunities with the player advantage, and now cleared by the Red Knights.
Well, I say in the penalty kill, your best player's got to be your goaltender, and so far, Paige Greeley has stood up.
They reversed it here, but took a little bit too much time trying to get that out and played it right up the middle. Now it's Grace Zumwinkle circling in that left side. Cuts to the middle, fires and scores. There you go. Kept her in check for a while, but not that time.
Unfortunately, she has no moves whatsoever. So you're seeing great hands here. Does a quick reversal, 360, comes back through and then cuts back there. Great move, keeps control of the puck, knows how to get rid of it and keep it in, and just rifles it up into the upper corner. Look at the move right here on the backhand. Beautifully done, and just rips it top shelf. If she gets that close, she ain't going to miss. Really hung out to drive it. Ties the game up, and again, power play goal. Well, a dilemma for Breck here, though, Jay, is we know Zumwinkle can score. Who else on the team can score? That'll be a big, over the next 3 games, big question mark for the Mustangs. They got to get that figured out.
Sound like they announced it as somebody else's goal there. I didn't think it was deflected off of her shot, was it?
No.
I just
there
had
was
that
no other
backwards.
Mustang in front.
Yeah, I just had that backward on the reading from the official. But in any case, it's a 1-1 hockey game here. Breck capitalizing on the power play. Red Knights trying to get it out. The puck gets stuck there along the wall. And now they finally do get it out. Carried up by Konowalchuk. Flicked along, and it'll get through the defenseman Dieterding. Gathered in here by Sedona Brown. Long pass gets away. Grace Zumwinkle takes it here for Breck. Look out, here comes Zumwinkle. Up that right side, shooting, and a save there by Greeley. Back out to the point it comes. Walking in, firing the shot wide was Oppenheimer. Tried to make a move to the front. Greeley missed it. She tried to cover it with her glove and actually waved over the top of it, but it hits the side. Here's another look at the opportunity here. That one deflecting wide.
I'll tell you what, the Mustangs are buzzing. I'll tell you what, their forechecker's working real well. They're staying on it. They're spaced very well, and they're getting some good shots. And when Zumwinkle's getting a shot, which he's been able to generate, they're getting in the net to help her out. Sooner or later, one's going to bounce on the stick, right? Williamson here has done a very good job.
Oh, and a quick shot there as she pulled the trigger in a hurry. And another of the captains for Breck, Kendall Williamson, getting an opportunity.
She's just a huge player. If she's 80 pounds soaking wet, I'll be surprised. But she's just quick as a gnat, boy, I'll tell you. Good puck control, a real battler.
Red Knights control it off the draw here. Megan Truman speeding up the right side. Shoots. Ooh, and that one gave Franczyk some trouble. Handcuffed her a little bit. Now bouncing puck ahead. Zumwinkle cutting hard to the goal. Oh, and that one, I believe, hit the near side goalpost.
I think it caught the edge of Greeley's pad there. Yeah, I think it just deflected and hit the pipe. We'll probably take another look at it because another gorgeous move by Zumwinkle. Just look at this move to the front. Just strong, powerful.
Yep, no post, all pad there.
Yep.
But a great, really good save by Greeley.
Yeah. It's got to be ominous when you see number 4 coming in there and you're that hard.
It's a tough thing to overcome when you're playing against somebody who realistically is a threat to score pretty much every time they're out on the ice.
And it doesn't look like she's getting a 2-shift rest either. She's out there every other shift.
Battle for it here as they tried to go to the net. Now a centering pass. It's loose again in front as Breck was unable to clear. Nice block there though. And now the Mustangs looking to try and get a 3-on-2 here. Puck carried right up the middle, then dropped off, and a nice save by Greeley as she denies Carly Binick. Pass back and forth there, Ella Brophy. Now Binick up with it here for Breck. Throws it in deep where it's gathered by Megan Cornell. This time better job breaking it out by the Red Knights. Here comes Grace Juckness shooting, but that one deflects wide. Oppenheimer back to gather it, but she runs into traffic. Nice move there by Nylander to the front, then drops it off. Here's the shot, and a nice glove save there by Franczyk. Pretty good setup and unselfish play by Nylander here. Getting that nice pass back to the point for a good angle shot there.
Well, the good news is she was on her backhand. That would have been the only shot she could take, and I'm not opposed to backhands, but seeing your point person sneaking in like that, getting in the middle with a forehand shot, you give that up every time. It was a smart play, and the D got it on net.
1-1 hockey game here as we tick down under 3.5 minutes to play in this first period here from St. Louis Park. Season opener for Benilde, second game of the year for Breck. Mustangs moving it out nicely there. Oh, close to offside, but they were on apparently, and Greeley will make the glove catch on that fluttering shot.
Their defense here is making all the difference, especially breaking out, Jay. They're getting clear control of the puck, and then they move it quickly. And they're really good at hitting that weak side wing coming out, but they're not stuck on the boards or anything. They get into clear space and then use their skating ability to move it up the ice.
Off the draw, shot put right on goal there. And that's why you've got to be ready on the draw, and Greeley was. Although I think it surprised her a little bit. Battle for it, and the Mustangs come away. Here's the shot out front, and a nice job tying up the stick. Megan Cornell, good work defensively there for BSM.
I think Greeley still had to get a left pad on that to keep it out of the net, though. I think she got down and held her position good, and it went off a pad that was going to go in the net.
Emily Zungwinkle back to pick it up. And then chop back into the corner here as Benilde will come forecheck again. Solo Hub picks it up here for Breck. And it deflects out. The race is on here. Cornell is going to get there first. And slams on the brakes here to get some help. Not able to clear it though, as Solo Hub kept it in for Breck. Nice little move there, but chased back. And now flipped into the Breck zone as Benilde was really trying to complete a change. They're looking to go to Grace Zumwinkle, but that pass intercepted. Pushed to the Breck line, but then that rush halted. Look at Zumwinkle just waiting to pounce if on that back pass. If it had been a little sloppy or not on target, she was ready to take it. Here's a quick shot going wide by Nylander.
Well, she stretches you out. She stretches the defense out and doesn't let you work as a 5-person unit. You got to break it into 2 and 3. That's what she makes you do. And there's a gap in between the two, and that's where the Mustangs live. Oh,
nice pass by Oppenheimer there, and now floated all the way down on goal as Breck getting a change here. Minute 15 to go in the first. 1-1 hockey game. Benilde struck first, and Breck on a power play. Here's Zumwinkle to the front and stopped by Greeley. Had to make some big saves against Zumwinkle and a couple other Mustangs here. Certainly overall the chances definitely favor Breck. Under a minute to go in the first. Poked away, and the Red Knights trying to counter and get a rush going back the other way. Got some numbers up. Battle in the corner, a little bit of a check thrown, but not enough to draw the arm up. Billing trying to get out of there with it for Breck, but good hard work on the forecheck by Benilde and Maria DeCesar. Under a half minute to go now in this first period. Pass ahead for Williamson. Williamson looking, trying to get free for a shot. Now circles and that puts it out front and just a little bit off on the timing. Now they still are dangerous though. Drop back to the point. Here's a shot. Stick save there by Greeley. Benilde trying to hang on and get out of this period, still tied. Few seconds left as we tick down towards 0, and the buzzer will sound. And so our score after 1 is 1-1 Benilde and Breck here at St. Louis Park.
I adopted Bento in 2010 from a shelter. As it turns out, we have very similar personalities. And this cat makes me make art because he's always motivating me to take pictures of him, to draw pictures of him. He just is motivating artistically. It's just that simple. Well, he's my best friend, but a lot of people know him as Keyboard Cat.
Welcome back here to St. Louis Park Rec Center, the home of Benilde-St. Margaret's girls and boys hockey, along with St. Louis Park. And look at first period highlights here from Breck and Benilde. Is Benilde getting on the board first as Malone leaving that puck. Sedona Brown then shooting, goes off a Breck stick and right up over the shoulder of Francic and in for a goal at 5:29. Give Benilde a 1-0 lead. Another pretty decent chance there, but kicked aside by Francic. And you knew that Grace Zumwinkle would make her presence felt. First shot denied, then a quick rebound try there by Riskovich was stopped. And then here's the goal on the power play. Watch Zumwinkle circling around, beats one defender, beats another, and then roofs it. Tough to stop that one. You can see her skill getting to the front of the net and rifling it over the shoulder there of Greeley to make it a 1-1 game, and that's where we're at after one period. Breck, big time advantage in shots and advantage in chances as well. The only penalty was taken by Benilde, and it did result in that power play goal by Zumwinkle. We've got more hockey to come here. Season opener for 12 Sports year 2016-2017 season as the Mustangs and the Red Knights tied up at 1.
Connected community experience. It's at the core of what we do, and it's what we deliver. Keep watching for a new way to think about and experience Channel 12 and Northwest Community Television.
I see you mobbing over her. Let's go. Let's mob. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, we mobbing. Come on, girl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl.
And welcome back here to St. Louis Park as the Mustangs and Red Knights get set to drop the puck here for period number 2. And I would guess at least part of that intermission was spent for Benilde talking a little bit about breakout. You know, how do we counter that heavy forecheck pressure that we've been seeing?
I expect to see two people on the board to start matching up and support better. You don't want to be even with the Mustangs. You want to outnumber them on the forecheck, and that'll force a breakout.
Puck into the Breck zone here. They reverse it around, but missed for Ella Brophy. Now it comes up the right wing side. Chipped into the Red Knight zone. Williamson hustling, but cannot get there, and it's going to be an icing call against Breck here as that fresh ice makes the puck slide a little bit quicker here to begin the period.
I don't think we saw single icing on the Mustangs the entire first period at all. They moved the puck very well to each other, and just kind of a little mistake. I think you're right. The ice is a lot more slippery right now.
Mustangs win the draw. Looking to break it out on their right side here with Riskovich. Long pass picked off there at the Benilde blue line. Head of steam here for Grace Juckness for Benilde, but poke check from her. Back out to center and trying to get after it. There's Gabby Hewson. Dropping it off for Nylander. Nylander banking it ahead, but broken up there at the line and now carried back into the Benilde zone. Opportunity here for the Mustangs. Drop pass, but just into the skates that time as they try to get it to Mobley.
Good high stick,
yeah. We got a penalty call coming up here. And getting the gate here will be Maddie Nylander of Benilde for a high stick.
A good setup here and just a nice drop of just off the stick, and all it takes is a little half second, and there we see the high stick right there. She's trying to get under the stick, and when it wasn't there, that stick got out of control and up into the face they went. And this is the one thing that Red Knights did not want to do to start this period, Jay, is give the Mustangs a power play, and they are 1-for-1 on it.
Off the draw, comes back to the center in the circle there of Mobley. Breck getting that power play set up. Back down to the circle, but it popped away, and a nice job on the penalty kill there to get to that puck as Megan Cornell jumped on it in a hurry and got it out. Ran in on the forecheck there, shorthanded. Megan Truman doing some work. And we're going to get another penalty call coming up here.
Yep.
Going to be a check.
Yep. Kind of got the Red Knight from behind, too. Good play by the penalty killer, and I didn't get her number, unfortunately, but was pinning up good against the boards, the control, and all of a sudden the Breck Mustang player came up behind her, tried to shake it loose and got a little overenthusiastic about it.
Mobley called for the check, and it ran through her there a little bit. Here's Williamson, has Zumwinkle with her. Grace Zumwinkle to the front, fires and denied. Greeley stood her ground, but they couldn't clear it. And then it comes right into Greeley again. Williamson gave it up. Zumwinkle coming hard here and firing. Really good positioning. Benilde made a costly mistake by giving it away, but fortunate for them that Greeley was ready for shot 2.
Greeley's been on top of her game. I'm impressed with her, Jay. She's playing really well. She's getting a lot of rubber thrown at her, and the Red Knights are going to need her to be good this year. They're going to come out with a better record than they did last year.
Icing call here against Benilde, since it is 4-on-4. I think they just had a little brain lock there and didn't remember that they weren't the short-handed team anymore, that they're a player short, but so is Breck.
A good shot of Allie Francic there for Mustangs, their goalie. Hasn't seen a lot of action tonight, Jay. Just that first shot went in, and after that, it been here or there maybe.
Got to give her credit for that cool mask too. Zumwinkle loses it as she collides with a Benilde player. Now taken away, and Breck looking to counterattack. Bounces loose. Zumwinkle trying to pounce on it, but Mustangs control it again. Peluso stepping up to break that one up. Now they give it ahead. Here comes Grace Zumwinkle. Carries it in and a rocket, but denied by Greeley. Just not used to all that many, high school girls players who can take a slap shot with that kind of velocity. Yeah. But obviously Greeley knows, a lot about Zumwinkle, but still you're not seeing that on a night in, night out basis, somebody with that kind of a shot.
That's true, but she's fundamentally sound. She's staying on top of the crease. She's got good body position, never giving any equal or uneven opening for the shooter. So I don't care how hard your shot is, if there's no opening and you can't hit, you can't hit a small one, you ain't going to score.
Power play now for Benilde, but only for another 20 seconds after the penalty to Nylander expired. Red Knights trying to get something going. Cross ice pass here as they get it to Nylander. She's had a couple minutes to rest up and now carries it in behind to get things set up here for the Red Knights. All the way around the horn she comes. Ooh. And Francic got a piece of it, but it came out front. And luckily for Breck, they were first to it. Penalty is over now, and we're back to 5 aside. Opportunity in tight. Rebound try. Puck still loose. And Greeley finally able to cover up as Benilde got pretty physical out front there trying to deny this. Here's another look. Puck carried all the way around by Nylander. Watch this shot. Went up high with it off the shoulder, maybe it looked like. And then at the other end, some opportunities in close. I think the second try was really the tougher one. There's the save, but then watch this one follow up. Greeley the stop. And then got to be strong on your skates in there at that point because they're coming for you.
Well, and in that area, too, the referees are going to be a lot more lenient about the physical play there. And there were blue bodies down on the ice and not too many white ones.
It's actually Dave Herbst now who is asking for a little conference with the referee, but no calls coming after that little sequence out front. So off the draw, Breck gaining control here. Williamson trying to fight away. Put it out front for Zumwinkle, but misfired, and the Red Knights able to come out with it. Opportunity now on the shot from the right wing. A blocker save there by Francic, directs it to the corner. Dig for it down deep here and controlled by the Red Knights. Trying to bring it out front that time was DeCesar.
You know, there's a problem when you take it forward and put her back to D. Lewis had an opportunity to take a good shot there, and she passed it by to try and get back down to the winger and the boards, and lost an opportunity.
Riskovich trying to carry it to the front as Breck was changing up. Riskovich able to keep possession of the puck. Now Grace Zumwinkle overskates it. Flip back in. Breck delayed offside there. Now puck controlled by the Mustangs solo hub. Carries it in, battles through a little bit of a bump there. Getting help from Sadie Lindsay. Peluso digs it off the wall, but then she runs into a forechecker.
But notice how physical the Mustangs are the Red Knights are getting with the Mustangs on the boards. Now their forecheck doesn't have flow, and they're getting physical like that. They're going to have to be careful here, obviously, because the referees could turn and start calling up, but so far, they're letting them play.
Tried to drag it to the front there, but broken up. A little more wide open, a little more end-to-end here early in this second period so far. No scoring in this period. It's still 1-1. Breck and Benilde here in the season opener for Benilde. Game 2 for Breck. Oh, and a backhander by Billing goes high. Got a penalty coming up. And we'll have another high sticking penalty issued here.
No, as you were talking to Coach Engelhardt here, the Mustangs there, she was looking forward to Gabby Billing was one she kind of pointed to kind of step up and start putting the puck in the net. To have somebody else besides Zumwinkle be able to score here. And she's had opportunities to do it.
Connor Walchuk gets the high stick. There it was right there as she did clip the side of the helmet of Billing.
And Billing with a good backhand there was dangerous.
So Breck back to the power play. Oh, and a nice save there with the glove by Greeley, getting over to snare that one off the shot from Billing at the point.
Now watch Greeley's position when she catches this puck. She's up on the top of the crease. She's not letting the winger there, that low winger, have a shot at it. She's just taking her out of the play just by her positioning. Good play by Greeley.
Red Knights win the draw, trying to clear it. Kept in by the glove of Zumwinkle. And she blocks this one as well. It pops into the slot. Put out front as Williamson tried to send it over for a deflection. Now Williamson a swing and a miss at that one. Billing gets to it. Across they come to Oppenheimer. Moving the puck nicely here. Down low and then the pass out front. Greeley comes out and takes it away. Kind of read that one real well. Maybe in danger of getting a little too far out if she doesn't make that play, but she did.
Now she's over on the angle. Nice, beautiful deflection here. With the defensive end, she got it down there, but good positioning again by Greeley.
Minute 19 to go in the power play here for Breck. And their puck kept in at the line, at least for the moment. And again, Oppenheimer able to keep that puck alive in the offensive zone. Chipped loose there by Mobley. Here's the pass across the slot from Zumwinkle. Now back out top to Billing. Billing will give it to Zumwinkle. Williamson cruising in front. Zumwinkle looking weak side with it for Oppenheimer. And throws it out front. Oh, it deflects. And Greeley, kind of a fortunate save. It winds up in the net, but no goal. It was whistled down. They just flung it out front, and it went off Mobley. And Greeley just kind of right place at the right time on this one as it hits her arm.
Ooh. Still didn't have a good handle on it. Good digging by the Mustang player there. There was in front, and good play. Just kind of threw it in there and hope for the best.
Bank pass off the wall here. Zumwinkle firing and a high shot that Greeley makes the glove catch on.
There was a snapshot for your perusal there, Jay.
Greeley getting a lot of work tonight, and it's a good way to break into the season. Maybe you wouldn't like to see quite so many pucks, but she's done a good job here tonight.
Well, she's the reason it's only 1-1. It could be about 4-1 right now with the opportunities even I've seen.
Under 20 to go in the power play. Here's Grace Zumwinkle going to the net, and collision there, and play goes on. Back down to the Mustang zone as time ticking away in that penalty. Billing stops behind the net. Penalty is over. Carried up here by Mobley. Mobley a shot and a blocker save there by Greeley. Mobley with it in deep again here for Breck. Breck trying to keep the momentum from that power play, even though they did not score on it, of course. Pass ahead, and a nice one it is. Here's Mobley, and then getting it over and squirts away. Benilde able to come up with it at the blue line, then the pass across to Cornell. Cornell being bothered there by Mobley. Flip back into the Benilde zone as they try and regroup a little bit here. 8 minutes to go in the second. Still 1-1. That was our score after the first period as well. And on the forecheck here, Ali Qualley, number 16 for Breck, goes down hard. And the long pass is going to misfire for everyone. It'll be an icing call against the Red Knights here, and we'll come back into the Benilde zone. 7:36 to go here in this middle period. 1-1. Benilde kind of doing what they needed to hang in here.
Yeah.
They're being outplayed, but at the same time, it's 1-1 up on the board.
Well, I think for 10 minutes there, it's been pretty, or 9 minutes or so, it's pretty good. That second penalty kill kind of took a little bit of the wind out of their sails. And I noticed, too, that Breck, watch how they plug up the middle. When they got the puck on one side or Benilde's trying to break out. But Breck will have two Mustangs right in the middle blocking any passes going across. And that's where they picked it off. So watch for a possible run out of the neutral zone that'll spring a 2-on-1 or a 1-on-0.
Red Knights get a good breakout this time, and here's an opportunity going to the net. Here's a shot, and just wide. Malone getting a good opportunity there for Benilde. Partial break. Now thrown back into the Breck zone. Julia Murphy back to pick it up for the Mustangs. Hemmed in there, and the puck freed up briefly. Now Benilde able to come up with it. Peluso at the point. Nice pass there. Floated to the front, and Francis not going to take any chances. She gets down to cover that one. Another look at this partial breakaway opportunity here, and flicked just wide by Malone.
The ninth grader got in just a little bit too tight to try and pick that top corner. But good opportunity there. Really needs to try to, as hard as you can, hit the net. Even if it shoots loose as a rebound, the trailing player might be able to scoop it in. But nice play. Ninth grader making that play.
Well, what you just talked about, too, is that's what, even though they don't end up scoring on that, they're hoping that makes Breck back off a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Up a breakaway there.
Absolutely.
Williamson now to Zumwinkle. Gets it onto the stick of Riskovich. Riskovich will bank it off the wall to herself and heads in after it. She can really skate. They quickly double her, though, and take it away. Opportunity back the other way a little bit for Benilde. A high shot and deflects in the air off of Frantic. And the Mustangs able to come up with it. Back they come the other way. Williamson over to Grace Zumwinkle. Back for Williamson. Fires, but just wide. Good looking rush there, but just didn't quite hit the net. Now they're still dangerous. Zumwinkle had it chopped away from her, though, by Cornell. Cornell does a nice job avoiding, but then gave it away. She didn't have much help on that side of the ice, that's for sure. Oh, and a nice shot by Zumwinkle and a blocker save made by Greeley. Breck really trying to put the pressure on this shift here. Mobley then loses it and goes down hard. Tried to come to the point with it, deflected. It briefly kept in, but then Oppenheimer just couldn't quite control it. Giveaway here, but a little impatient, quick shot. And back comes Breck the other way now with Billing. Gabby Billing looking, shooting, and a stick save by Greeley. Long rebound, chased down. Approaching 5 minutes to go in this second period. No scoring in this period, so still a 1-1 hockey game. Billing chops it in here for the Mustangs. That long pass doesn't connect for Megan Cornell. And then the other way, same thing. This one goes all the way down. Icing call against the Mustangs here. So we'll bring it back into the Breck zone.
Well, number 15, Megan Cornell, I'll tell you, I know she's just got a brilliant burst of speed. I'm wondering if the Red Knights are going to forward. She plays defense, but let her on the puck and let her go. See if she can really, hump it down. Made some good plays there, and she's always looking to pass it, which is good for a D. But maybe her speed could help them break out. The best breakout is a defense person all by themselves.
Benilde able to free that puck up. Peluso flipping it back and forth. Now, nice pass onto the tape at center ice. A good-looking breakout that time for Benilde, but then they lose it at the Breck line. And flip back into the Benilde zone. Peluso will chase it down here for the Red Knights. Gets the return pass as they quickly reverse it. Stepping in though, strong forecheck that time by Lindsay. Oh, and Peluso, no. The referee looked right at him and said, nope. Player in front maybe slammed on the brakes to try and draw that one a little bit.
Ooh.
Now the pass coming out front, intercepted. Second try, and they'll get it out.
Anytime you turn into the middle, anytime you turn to the inside, there's always a Mustang coming at you. They're forcing it over to the boards.
Peluso getting that pass through to Juckness and covered up by Frensick. Another look at this one here. As you'll see right there, kind of leaning into it was Breck's Ashley Halverson. The referee was down there and in position, and he not only did he not raise the arm, he shook his head. He saw it and said that was an offensive player trying to draw it. There's a quick shot. Frensick the save. Red Knights trying to get some opportunities later in the period. Here's a quick shot. Glove stopped there on the good attempt by Nylander. And now Breck able to come away with it. Bank it on out. Races on here. Cornell turns on the Jets to get there first for Benilde.
That's just brilliant speed by Cornell. I mean, she beat
Williamson to Zumwinkle and a skate save by Greeley. They converted that turnover into a quick chance. Now Benilde trying to do the same at the other end. Juckness up with it. Partial breakaway and missed the net.
Hit the net, hit the net. I'm sorry, but hit the net.
Now Breck coming back the other way, 2-on-2. Have been more wide open and maybe a time sloppier period to a certain extent. I think they're just kind of playing more than thinking about it in the second period, which at times has led to real exciting hockey, at times some mistakes. And there's a tripping call coming up against Benilde as they'll take their third penalty of this second period.
This is hurting Benilde. Just so you can see the stick get out there. That's a no-brainer right there. She got beat clean and just took the skates out. These penalties are hurting the effort by the Red Knights. I'll tell you. My gosh.
Dieterdig will go for a trip. So Breck back to the power play. Didn't score on any of them in this period, but did score in the first. Their only goal was a power play goal by Zumwinkle. So Red Knights able to clear it here. Pretty crucial one, just considering too the time of the game here. This penalty will lead up most of the rest of the second period. Breck able to come away with it here now and get a rush going as Mobley carries it deep. Peluso able to take it away. Kick to stay in there by Billing and then cleared.
Well, the Mustang defense is getting a little case of offensive fever here, Jay. They're getting sucked into the offensive zone. They're not backing out, which has caused, 3 breakaways at this point that we've seen this period by the Red Knights.
Little drop pass here back from Mobley. Nice shot block though for Benilde by Hewson.
Oh, she was open.
Opportunity here. Williamson going to the net. Fires. And a quick glove save there by Greeley. Boy, Benilde really was playing for the pass there. And they pretty much just said, okay, Paige, she's all yours as they let Williamson have a free lane for a shot there. And fortunately for Benilde, able to just get the glove closed.
That almost slipped in under her arm. And this up and over here, he had Zumwinkle over the side. She had a clear avenue to pass it to her for a one-timer.
Frantic out for a skate. Oh, nearly gave it away there.
Oof.
And now here comes Breck on the power play rush. Williamson. Under a minute to go in the period here. Breck on the power play for another half minute.
50 seconds left.
Looked out front, swing and a miss at it there by Riskovich. Back out to the point, Billing. Her pass deflects to the corner. And now the Red Knights able to free it up and flip down the ice shorthanded there by Nylander. Half minute to go in the period. Time under 10 seconds in the power play though. Pass deflected, but still coming up with it is Zumwinkle, and that shot deflects off the outside of the goalpost. Penalty is over. 15 to go in the period. Cornell had a chop free, and then it just bounced away though from Mobley. And now Benilde with the last chance the other way as Truman carried it in. And they're not going to get another opportunity, it looks like here. So we come to the end of the second period. Same score we had at the end of the first. It's Breck 1, Benilde 1. We'll be back with more coverage of girls hockey here on 12 Sports.
Connected community experience. It's at the core of what we do and it's what we deliver. Keep watching for a new way to think about and experience Channel 12 and Northwest Community Television.
I see you mobbing over her. Let's go. Let's mob. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, we mobbing. Come on, girl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Boom. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Boom. Hey, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Boom.
A hockey game here at St. Louis Park after two periods. Breck and Benilde tied up as we look at some second period highlights. No goals, of course, but that didn't mean there wasn't some chances. Another look at one for Breck here. Zumwinkle coming up the left side and a quick save there by Greeley. And then another opportunity here as Zumwinkle lets it rip with a rising slap shot that Greeley fought off right there. And an opportunity in the slot as they work it all the way around the horn, and then a little tip out front, but really able to pounce on that. And then this one nearly goes in. It's thrown out front. It goes off a body and nearly deflects past her, but it hits Greeley's arm. It eventually went in, but the whistle had sounded by that point. And then some breakaway opportunities for Benilde that they weren't able to cash in as Malone missed there on the breakaway. And you see overall Breck has, without question, had the better of the play, but so far been able to only put one away. That was on that first period power play for Zumwinkle. Benilde hurting themselves a little bit with 3 second period penalties. Gave Breck a lot of momentum built on those power plays. One period to go here in St. Louis Park. It is Breck 1, Benilde 1. We'll be right back.
Connected community experience. It's at the core of what we do and it's what we deliver. Keep watching for a new way to think about and experience Channel 12 and Northwest Community Television.
Most of my family, they never graduated high school or even let alone go to college, so I'm trying to break that barrier. Every day after work, went straight to school, studied hard, and it paid off. I could not have done it alone. I see the future is really bright for me. The high school diploma is just added to the confidence, and now I feel unstoppable.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Interesting third period ahead here as Breck has certainly had the better of things, but Benilde's got really excellent goaltending first and foremost, but also just done a lot of good things to stay in this one. Also, this early in the season too, you wonder if one team or the other slows down a little bit, or if what the legs are like, and when you get into this third period too.
Well, Breck has had the opportunity to play a real game of the real pace game compared to the scrimmages that Benilde has. So we'll see in this final 17 minutes if Benilde's got some gas. I mean, they started out really well in the second period. And I thought, Jay, they played a pretty good second period overall last 5 minutes, but they got to stay out of the box. They got to stay out of the box this period if they're going to contend.
And here it comes into the Breck offensive zone. Zumwinkle putting it out front, and just unable to get a piece of it was Riskovich. And now the Mustangs come up with it. An opportunity over to Zumwinkle, and fires and right into the pads of Greeley. She decided to go quick rather than pick out a spot there and see if she could get it past her in a hurry, and Greeley was right there. Now Zumwinkle up with it again. It slides away from her though and gets control back. And missed the net with that one, and it's going to carry them all the way back into the Breck zone. So Breck kind of picking up where they left off late after those penalties in the second period. I agree with you, Dan, that Benilde was playing pretty strong and right with them until they started to take a couple penalties.
Yep. I think they got tired. They lost some legs. They're killing penalties really wears on you.
Mustangs looking sharp on the breakout here, coming up ice. Williamson waiting, and then shoots the puck, and a stick save by Greeley, who's had a lot of work tonight, but has been very good. Red Knights come away with it here to Caesar. And now Breck able to free that puck up again though. A little bit more team speed overall, I think, for Breck. Both teams, certainly have some quality skaters, but
well, it allows the Breck to move down the ice as a unit.
Oh, a shot on goal, and the Red Knights are ahead. I don't think that Franczyk could see it as it came firing out of the circle there off the stick of Megan Cornell. And Benilde will take a 2-1 lead.
Cornell snuck down low. They got the puck. We were kind of talking about her earlier in the second period. With her speed, she can sneak down like that and get back, but rifles a shot from a bad angle. I think she found the 5-hole, if I'm not mistaken. Big surprise there. And the first shot of the third period by the Red Knights goes in.
DeCesar will get the assist on Cornell's goal. There was a player out front, but obviously they were congratulating Cornell, so it was not tipped. And so the Red Knights come out and get an early goal here in the third to go up 2-1. They had the first goal of the game as well, but Breck answered about 4 minutes later in that situation. So Mustangs, I think you have to avoid frustration too, because they've certainly had more shots, more quality shots all night long. However, it's all about what happens up on the big board, and right now it's Benilde holding that lead.
Well, I'm here now too. Number 31 in white has got an opportunity to really frustrate the Mustangs. With the way she's played tonight, I'll tell you what, Jay, she could put a big fat 0 on third period for the Mustangs here. Let's see if that gets frustrating for them.
Oppenheimer trying to get things started here on the breakout. It gets away from Solo Hub. Now a pass back to the point. Here's a long slapper, and that's stick to the corner. Deflected out to center here as Breck with Lindsay leading the rush here. Chopped away from her. Bump there along the wall. Breck continuing to put this third line out and not worry about it. Carried on in here by Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer now teeing it up and drills it wide. Little pile up in the corner there. Brown had somebody kind of on her back, so she took a little shot at her back the other way, and we'll get an icing call here against the Red Knights and come back into the Benilde zone.
It's getting interesting now. Now we're going to see how tightly those sticks start getting gripped by the Mustangs here, being down by a goal. But we both know they played a real tight game, 5-4 against Centennial Saturday. So this isn't something where they haven't been in before.
Jockness carrying it up ice, tried to split the D and tried to draw a penalty. It bounces back into Francic. And no call on that play as they brought it up ice. It was interesting because they were doing their best to get in her way, and then she was doing her best to try and draw one. And you could see that one going either way, and they elected to say play on.
I think she went with her early figure skating training.
Zumwinkle drops the pass back, and then the shot just wide from Riskovich. Breck, I think, has done a pretty good job of resisting the temptation to use Zumwinkle, huge minutes in these first two periods. So now you get to a point, okay, we're down. You can get to a point where she's still got a lot left in the tank here in this third period, and here she goes right now. Zumwinkle to the front, brought it all the way through. The net comes off as she collides with Greeley. Not a lot of players have the strength and the confidence to do this, to try and lower that shoulder and turn the corner. And a pretty big collision.
Well, I'll tell you what, Coach Herbst of the Red Knights is not happy. He's talking to the refs right now, wondering why there wasn't a goaltender interference call or running into the goaltender. Now, it looked like Zumwinkle was pushed, but it did not look like she made any effort to get out of the way either, and that's what they call. If you don't make an effort to get out of the way, you need to call goaltender interference. So that's what that discussion's about right now, and why we're having a delay in that faceoff.
And it looked like Greeley did have her shoulder wrenched a little bit.
She wasn't real quick jumping up, and she's kind of moving it back and forth a little bit here.
Myself, honestly, when she's carrying the puck like that, I don't feel that was a penalty on the offensive player myself. I don't know about you, Dan.
No, I don't think so. But frankly, it didn't go into her real hard either. But here's a coach that's doing the right thing. He's protecting his goaltender,
absolutely,
and at least having a discussion about it. Now it's in the referee's heads. A lot of times you don't necessarily try to change a call, but you set the record for the next 12 minutes and 38 seconds. So they'll keep an eye on that, and if Breck keeps getting aggressive on the goalie, you might see that call.
The other thing about it, I think it sends a message to your players that you're standing up for them also.
Absolutely.
And the puck popped back out to center. It was pretty frantic second period, and you have the feeling the third's going to be even more so here with Benilde getting that early goal, and now the race is on. Cornell able to hold it away from Williamson. And then Williamson able to steal it briefly, picked up by Gabby Billing. Dropping it over now to Mobley, the freshman. Plays it in behind the net for Billing. That pass knocked down. And the Red Knights able to get it out. Emily Zumwinkle on the race to that puck. And Mobley able to free it up here, but then they give it away. Benilde trying to get something more toward the net. And then sent back in deep as they finish up a change.
This is exactly what Benilde wants to do. Get Breck bottled up in their own zone. Don't give them a free ride coming out. Beauty of a pass from the Mustang. Oh my.
Floated toward the front there and knocked to the corner as Billing put one toward net. Peluso sending it along up the boards there for Konowalchuk. Now back for Peluso. They'll come back to their left side again. Konowalchuk, the pass. Breck quickly doubles that up though. And the Mustangs come away with it. Carried into the Benilde zone. Is Ashley Halverson controlling it?
I think after that, it's being established that the referees are going to let them play. Both teams have gotten way physical in this period so far. Even Breck has.
Banged out to center, then thrown right back. It's off a skate. Is this onside? It looks like it is. Thrown to the front and knocked away and right back out. Oppenheimer will pick it up here for Breck. 10:15 to go in the third. 2-1 Benilde, trying to pull what would have to be considered an upset, I would think, based on what happened last year, not only between these two teams, but just their seasons overall. And there's a penalty coming up on the Mustangs. Going to be a trip as Grace Juckness tried to bring it to the front.
Nice cut there with the puck and just caught the D by surprise, and that stick got out there. And you know, whether you have it you got to have control of it.
Ashley Halverson will be called for the penalty. Well, nice to have her cousin stop by our booth between periods and tell us that he was watching his cousin out here playing. He was wearing some park hockey garb. Here's a quick shot, and that one into the glove of Francic.
Yeah, this is a test for Francic too, Jay, right now. She's got to stand up for her team and keep it one goal here and make some plays. Can she do it? I can't answer that question right now, so they're going to get an answer right now, whether she can do that.
Yeah, pretty kind of a must-kill here for Breck, you'd have to think, because getting down late enough in the game, you can't afford to fall behind by 2.
Well, especially with the way that Greeley's playing in the net for the Red Knights.
And that pass kind of into the middle of everyone, but great hustle to get down there. Oh, it's going to be an icing call, though, as Cornell hustled but couldn't quite get there, as Benilde got a little impatient, I think, throwing that puck up ice without really having, going to work that short pass a little more sure thing.
Well, I'm really impressed with Cornell's speed. I'm wondering if it wouldn't benefit to take her off D and put her up as a wing, where she could really move around the end. She's restricted as a D right now from really moving and using that speed. Look at this. Look at this burst she's got.
Hemmed in along the wall, trying to get it in deep, couldn't do so. Ooh, and then a dangerous one as they flung it across the high slot there. Zumwinkel trying to chase it down and pick it up herself, and she will turn and fling it out. Greeley will stop it behind the net. Halfway through the power play here for Benilde. They lead this game 2-1. Just under 9 minutes to play in the third. Pass knocked away at center. And now Gabby Billing will get there for Breck. Billing gets it to the Benilde zone and then able to free it up again. Short-handed, he puts it out front, and a redirect goes to the corner.
Williamson had a great opportunity there for the Mustangs. Nice setup, being a man down, going on the attack. I like that.
Pass tipped into the Breck zone, but intercepted here as Benilde has gotten a little sloppy on this power play. Under 10 to go in the man advantage, and Breck nearly forced a turnover, and then it came just outside as Solo Hub tried to keep that puck alive in the offensive end but couldn't do it. So 5 to go in the power play here for Benilde, but they've been able to work a couple minutes off the clock, if nothing else here.
Yep. Not really threatening, though. I would have liked to have seen the Red Knights put a few shots on Francic here, just to give her a good test to see what she's made of. So we're back to 5-on-5 here. And that's where the Mustangs have had the advantage throughout the whole game.
Penalty is over, so Breck back to 5 skaters now as it's knocked down at the blue line there by Oppenheimer, who was on the ice. Sent into the corner, Cornell. Forecheck coming hard there as Williamson helped to free it up. And this will be an icing call against Benilde. An awful long time still to try and, just defend for the last 7.5 minutes. So,
yeah, there's a lot of time. But you know what? I tell you what. The one thing, like you said, is going to start getting in the heads. Of course, I've never seen those two coaches get shook up about anything, even in section play. They just stay very calm. But goaltending, the difference in this game has been the goaltending. And the advantage goes to the Red Knights with Paige Greeley right now.
Here's Greeley making a big stop on Williamson, and then maybe a bit of a quick whistle there as she tried to get to it. I'm not sure the net may have come off as well. Watch Williamson come off the wall and take a good hard shot. It was off the stick. And Greeley then trying to get to it actually ran into her teammate. And Benilde able to free it up and get it out of the zone. Zumwinkle trying to drag it around a Benilde player. Now comes up with it. Pass off a skate at center ice.
Offside.
Yeah, close, but not quite. Benilde really needed to get that puck in deep, and now an injured Benilde player as well after that collision. 3-on-2 though for Breck the other way. Here comes Zumwinkle teeing it up and blasts it wide, and now we will get a whistle because of the injury here as Sammy Dieterding right there fell. Oh, looked like the back of her head bounced off the ice a little bit there. And she will head off and not feeling the greatest at the moment.
Concussion protocol right now. That ice is hardened, and you got to take that real seriously. You call that one good. The TV picked it up nice. Good block by the Red Knights there.
Trying to get the puck out, but couldn't quite do it. Now they will. Pass a little too far, though. Breck will have to chase it down as Emily Zumwinkle back to get it. 2-on-2 on the rush. Shot floated at the net there. Greeley knocks it aside. Dangerous play to bring it through the middle there, but it's off a skate. Pop back into the Breck zone and picked up. Connor Walchuk is in. Oh, and just failed to put it away. And it stays a 2-1 game. Just kind of what I found is Connor Walchuk had it on her stick. Billing, goes down to avoid that hit, and play going on. Red Knights struggling to get it out. Kept in at the line, and then the shot knocked down. Back and forth it goes. 5:40 to go in the third period. 1-goal lead for Benilde. Breck looking to change that though. Carried around the net there by Riskovich. And now we are going to get a penalty call, looks like right in front of the Benilde bench. A cross check going to be whistled against Benilde's Nylander.
Second time she's been in the box, and that's a critical call right there. You know, they were keeping them off from any good shots, and boy, going in the box now and giving the Mustangs a power play right now, boy, you really don't want to do that.
It comes right in front of the bench, right here.
And I don't know if it was a cross check or your hand was not on the stick. Second hand was not on the stick, but it was still a check, and you and I both saw that she went after it. So it's a good call.
Well, and it's in a situation there where, you know, if that's to prevent a goal right in front of your own net, you kind of live with it a little more. But this is out quite a ways and not really impacting the play that much.
Yep. Now what? Oh.
Got him. Williamson is going to go here for Breck.
Interference, maybe? Well, I think there's a little extra pushing going on the Red Knight that went down there.
So we'll be evened up now at 4 skaters apiece. Pass across. Another penalty coming up. This one will be on Breck.
No.
Down low it goes. Here's the quick shot that sails wide from Peluso, and then now Breck will control it, and we will get our penalty called. This is going to be a cross-check on the Mustangs. Out in front of the net it was.
Yeah, and they needed a whistle real quick, you know, but even though they had control of it, get a whistle because there it was. It looks like a slash going across, but get a whistle so they get that penalty going. Wow, big change here. A lot of ice now. I would imagine you're going to see Miss Zumwinkle out in the ice. Yes, she's out there now. But this might be right to her tune, even though they're down. A lot of room in the ice for her to use her skating ability.
Oppenheimer for cross-checking. Benilde's going to use its timeout right here.
I think it's a good timeout right now, 5 minutes. You got a critical power play you want to work, but also keep your eye on number 4. They're still going to try and bust her. They're down a goal. They're not going to play a standard penalty kill. They're going to go after it if I know Breck. So good timeout call. A lot of things to talk about here.
Interesting down the stretch in that they had been kind of letting things, letting them play, but they established a tone and have followed up with, the 3 somewhat similar calls here.
Yeah, I thought they were real consistent. And each of the calls, Jay, there was a little bit, you went over the line with how much you were putting into it. You weren't backing off, like you make the hit, but you back off without driving into it. And of course, with the score the way it is now, the intensity's gone way up. I mean, you can see it. Every little movement of the puck is critical. All you need is one mistake, and it's a tie game. Or you got a 2-goal lead. A 2-goal lead right now, 5 minutes left with Greeley in the net. Ooh. Well, I don't know if Breck can overcome it.
The first 2 penalties only came 6 seconds apart, so that part, will pretty much even itself out. But then you add this last one to Oppenheimer. So Benilde with a 4-on-3 advantage. Looking for a deflection in front, and they didn't get the tip, and it's into the body of Francic. You see holding it here, Houston waiting, and the tip attempted but missed by Truman.
Yeah, Truman almost could have got one there. That stick got up high by the head.
Back across. Another look. They wanted to do the same thing and directed away, and then that puck nearly hit the official on the way by.
Uh-oh.
Race is on here. Zumwinkle gets to it. And Red Knights able to gain possession with Peluso, and now they come on out. High shot into the defender, and then slammed back out. Cornell back giving chase here. Pass nearly intercepted, but it comes right back to DeCesar. DeCesar dropping it across and chopped away there from Truman. Now here comes Grace Zumwinkle. How much does she have left in the tank after a long shift here? She's alone 1-on-4. Shooting and missed the net wide. It comes all the way out to Billing. Billing giving it back to Zumwinkle. Chopped away from her by DeCesar. Brown trying to play it around to herself, but Williamson saw it coming. And a shot, and the save made by Greeley.
And Williamson went down too. You can see the snow on it. Just nice pick up here. And she gets the shot off. And then her skates get taken out from underneath her. That looked like it was going to miss the net. That shot.
First penalty is over, so a very brief 5-on-3, and then now here's a chance, and a nice stop by Francic on Nylander. Race back the other way, Williamson giving chase. Controlled here out front for Williamson, and off the heel of her stick.
But Williamson's had some golden opportunities here in this game, just hasn't been able to cash in.
Nylander carrying it. Penalties are all over right now. Back to 5 aside. Still 2-1 Benilde, our score. Thrown out front. That one's turned back. And thrown off the side of the body there of Francic. Puck comes all the way through to the corner. Benilde's done a pretty smart job of playing with the lead here in this third period. Now around it comes to Grace Zumwinkle. Look out. Up ice she comes here for the Mustangs. Tees it up and the shot is blocked. Good job there by Cornell to hold her ground. And floated in deep here by Benilde's Juckness, and he'll head off on a change. Zumwinkle zipping it across here. Briskovich trying to put it out front. It bounces around a little bit, and then the Red Knights get to it. Zumwinkle, though, comes away with it for Breck. Grace Zumwinkle into the circle. Carries it deep and shooting. And the stop made by Greeley.
Boy, there was really a surprise there. Oh, Grace Zumwinkle gets the puck and she goes in and tries to score. You know, the thing is, too, though, Jay, when you have a player as good as Grace Zumwinkle, this is exactly what you do. You get her out there and just tell her to go. Try and get something going. I mean, she scored 5 goals in the last game she played. So, good play by coach. I assume now with this timeout, Grace is going to come back out with this group. Benilde, let's regroup. Got to keep your eye on her. Don't let her come in there. And kind of bracket her. Make sure somebody's in front of her and back of her or inside out of her. Don't give her room to move.
As we said, Benilde will be back on the ice here Thursday night to host St. Paul United. Then they are at Wayzata at Plymouth Ice Center coming up on Saturday the 19th.
They also got Maple Grove, the state runner-up last year in their schedule. Blake, Eden Prairie. Those are little fun little gauntlets to run. I think 2 of those are away.
And Breck, after this tough road game, they have a road game at Wayzata, Plymouth Ice Center on Thursday night, and then next Tuesday they're at Chaska Community Center to take on Chaska Chanhassen. So getting some tests on the road early in the 2016-2017 season.
Oh, I love Breck's schedule too. They play Edina, who's always good, Hill Murray, Cretin Mall, and again Maple Grove. You know, either one of these schools, I mean, you're gonna play a really good schedule and get yourself really showcased too, and it'll be interesting to see. You may be looking at the Miss Hockey Player of the Year here in number 4. But I've also liked the way that backstop there, that number 31 for Benilde has really stepped up to play and bailed their players out with their great play tonight.
Red Knights control the draw, able to break it out. Opportunity here, a minute and a half to go. If nothing else, they're forcing Breck to keep Francic in the net. They'd be smart to keep that puck down low, and a redirect out front here. Now Zumwinkle trying to free it up. Williamson sends it ahead, but they couldn't quite connect, and Peluso will get to it first here for Benilde.
There goes Francic.
Francic to the bench, a shot at the empty net, and it's just wide. So it'll be an icing call against Benilde. Not a bad chance to take there. They didn't miss it by much.
You want to be a little careful, though. You maybe want to get it out across the blue line before you try that. Give yourself a better chance. Because sooner or later, an icing's going to catch up with it.
Off the draw, shot by Williamson was on net. Another attempt at the net, and another near miss, and another icing.
You know, this kind of situation, I'll give yourself a heart attack if you're a coach, you know. Look at what happened on that last draw.
Off the draw, it comes to Peluso. Taken away, though, behind the net. Williamson trying to win that puck back. It's kept in. And a bouncing puck, and is it in? No, no goal. Breck trying to nudge that puck over the line, and they're over to complain. Greeley getting a lot of congratulations. Watch this bounce up in the air off of Greeley, and then, boy, it's awful close to going in down there. And the referee right on top of it says no goal.
Great camera angle here, guys. Really good job. Now we'll see. It's going to bounce. I think it hits the pipe. The referee was in good position there. I thought, yeah, okay. No goal. I didn't see it go in at all.
I saw a little bit of the stick blade in there, and at first, for a second, I thought that was the puck, but it was not. Down to the corner. Zumwinkle trying to come off the wall with it. 20 seconds to go. Benilde clinging to a 1-goal lead. Now a centering pass and a nice step up to break that up, but it comes down to Zumwinkle. 10 seconds to go. Puts it out front. And that clearing attempt off a skate, but the second try will get it out. And there'll be an icing call. Let's see if this will be over, if they're going to have a couple tenths. It looks like it's over. Benilde storming out to congratulate Paige Greeley as she is pumped up.
She ought to be
heck of a night between the pipes.
MVP of this game without a shadow of a doubt. What a nice debut for her. She only played 3 games. Now she's the leader, and boy, I tell you what, she stood up. And when I talked to Coach Herbst before the game, he says, we built this team from the pipes up. Boy, them pipes is solid. Thank you. What a game by Paige. She just did a great job tonight and shut down one of the better players in the state. Only allowed 1 goal after coming off a 5-goal performance by Grace Zumwinkle.
So then Cornell's goal early in the 3rd period, giving the Red Knights the winning margin here. So a successful season debut for Benilde. They're now 1-0, and Breck will fall to 1-1 with the loss here tonight. As our final score again is Benilde 2, Breck 1. For Dan Ficken and all of our crew, I'm Jay Wilcox. Good night from St. Louis Park Rec Center.